You're listening to the Headlock Talkover podcast, where we like wrestling and we talk about wrestling with Jack and Jeremy.
Hello and welcome to the Headlock Talkover podcast, a podcast where we like wrestling and we talk about wrestling. I am Jeremy, nicknamed TBC. The man here drinking Guinness is Jack the Seer.
Sorry, we're recording this on St. Patrick's Day.
As is
Hence
tradition.
hence the green screen. That's probably not going to be green, is
No.
it? No, yep, cool,
No.
brilliant.
That's a logo. It's not a green screen. No. It's not a green screen. We're going to talk about a little bit of news in the week of wrestling, but first you're going to torture me with some Tenable, I understand. Just to go over the rules here, Jack has a random 10, could be a top 10, could be any 10.
Or a first 10.
Or a first 10 even. And I got to try and guess the 10. I have 3 lives, so 4 incorrect answers, and I lose, essentially. None of us have got all 10 yet.
No.
So
We peaked very fast, I think.
with the WCW one,
Yeah.
you got 9.
Yeah. And then forgot who Jeff Jarrett was.
Yeah, bloody Jeff
Well,
Jarrett.
luckily, Jeff Jarrett's not on this list.
Oh.
Spoiler.
Scratch that one off then. What you got for me?
Who's your favourite wrestler, Jez?
My favourite wrestler is AJ Styles.
I would like you
Oh no.
to name me the first one-on-one losses AJ Styles had when joining WWE.
Oh, joining WWE?
Yes.
Okay. I reckon.
And it has
I'll
to
do all right
be
there.
televised matches.
Yep.
One-on-one singles
One-on-one.
matches, not triple threats. I had to scroll through about 6 pages of cage match, and I didn't realise how many triple threat matches he's been in. Lots.
Okay. I'm assuming you've got dates, or
I don't have dates, but I have...
are they in chronological order, I'm assuming, what you've got?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, you got earliest at the top?
Yep.
Chris Jericho, WrestleMania.
Yep.
That's the first one. That first?
SmackDown.
Did he lose on SmackDown first?
It was on a SmackDown, apparently.
Oh, have you got multiple opponents here?
No.
Okay, so it's first people that he lost to. Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho was first.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns was second, I believe.
Roman Reigns isn't on this list.
He should be. Faced him at Backlash.
Really?
Yeah,
In a one-on-one match?
I'm pretty sure. I think so. I might be getting that wrong. If not, we'll say that I've lost a life.
Well,
I trust your judgment.
Yeah.
Internet's going to crucify you if you're wrong.
I took ages doing this. I fucking hope not.
Okay, who else we got? Bear in mind he debuted in 2016 and became WWE champion quite quickly. Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose is on this list.
Good.
And it was on a Raw, apparently.
Raw?
Yeah.
Well, they ended the brand split at that point. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So WrestleMania 32, he faced Chris Jericho. Then he had a little title thing before they split the belts and introduced the Universal business. Don't tell me James Ellsworth is on this list.
Yep.
Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, God. Okay. So we're in that kind of era.
So you have 1, 3, and 4.
Wow, that's early on in his career then. Who am I missing in between then, if not Roman? 2016. I know he got drafted to SmackDown when the split did happen, which happened, I think, just after Battleground 2016, which was the Shield Triple Threat. God knows who he faced on that pay-per-view. WrestleMania 34, he beat Shinsuke Nakamura. Or 33, I'm not sure which one it was. But I know he beat Shinsuke during their feud. Who has he lost to in one-on-one matches? That's a hard one, because they pushed him good in the beginning.
Like I said, I scrolled through cage match. This was surprisingly hard.
I'm trying to remember who was around at this time then. Seth Rollins.
Seth is not on the list.
Okay, that's 2 lives gone. Well, I've guessed all 3 members of the Shield, so that pretty much rules that out.
No, that does rule that out. Unless I'm wrong about the Roman thing.
Kurt Angle was in the Shield, I'll have you know.
No, right you are. Sorry.
I just haven't got John Cena.
Yes. He is 5th.
I know he's on the list.
Royal Rumble 2017.
What a match. Phenomenal match. Pardon the pun.
You can't see the pun. Just
Carry
carry on.
He didn't lose to Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. Hell of a match, though.
Such a good match.
Better than it had any right
It
to
has
be.
no right being that good. All I can remember from that match is AJ at the start going, "I'm gonna embarrass him! I'm gonna embarrass him!" And it's so good.
And then Shane pulls out a shooting star press and it goes to coast.
Unbelievable. And AJ does that springboard 450 into a fucking guillotine choke. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, stop being so good.
They fucking nailed it, didn't they? Ridiculous. But who did he lose to? Because it wasn't Shane. I'm certain it wasn't Shane. So we might be in the United States Championship era here. Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens is number 2.
Wow, he lost to him. This was when they were pushing Kevin Owens before he won the
It was
Universal
on an
Championship.
episode of SmackDown, apparently.
Gotcha.
So you have the
First 5?
First 5.
And number 5 was Cena.
Cena Royal Rumble 2017.
Wow, all that in less than a year. Okay, so after that point, he lost to Cena. He lost the title then. Then it was Elimination Chamber, where Bray won it. Yeah, Cena only held it for a month in that run. Because he walked into that champion, I'm pretty sure. Because he went out...
Oh, he did?
He went out before AJ. And we were like, oh, we've got... No, it wasn't the Fiend. This was when Bray won it the first time.
Oh,
He faced Randy.
Yeah, I can see it now. It was Eater of Worlds Bray, wasn't
Yes,
it?
his first title win. But Cena went out first, last 2 were Bray and AJ. So once Cena was eliminated, we were like, new champion. And we love both of these guys. So I'm all for it.
I remember now.
Now, so AJ lost that, but it wasn't 1-on-1. At Mania that year, I can't remember who he faced. That might have been the Shane year, possibly. That was 34 and 30. No, it wasn't, because that was the... Definitely mixing up years here, because I thought that was the year Shinsuke won. Are you counting DQs? Or do you just look at...
No.
Right. Because I would say Shinsuke, but I think he only ever beat AJ by DQ with nut shots and all that. I'll hold on to it.
Okay.
Psyching me out over there. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
That's fine.
Then we had the reign of terror that was Jinder Mahal, where he beat Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura, and then he lost it to AJ, and AJ held it for like a year, so I don't think he lost a lot at that point. I'm going to have to throw Nakamura out then. Go on, Nakamura.
10.
10th. Wow, okay. When you don't know when?
It was on an episode of SmackDown I've got here.
Wow, okay. That must have been like 2017, 2018 then. So, going by that logic, it was only SmackDown superstars he really lost to. Oh, unless Brock Lesnar.
Nope.
They had the Survivor Series match, didn't they? That was real fucking
really good. And I remember like reports coming out that Brock was even selling at the back.
Yeah.
Like properly working everybody. Put AJ over good.
Yeah. I'd say it was a shame they didn't get to run that back again, because AJ was champion that time the year later. And then that's when Daniel Bryan won it from him. And we got that amazing match at Survivor Series.
Yeah, that would have been good, wouldn't it?
But yeah, he did face Brock at the previous Survivor Series, which is why I thought he was on the list. So...
Two strikes?
I'm too late. No, 3 strikes. Roman, Seth, and Brock. Who am I forgetting? If it's before...
4 people.
Yeah, evidently. So it's before Brock, but after Cena. But before Shinsuke and after Cena. So that leaves me like not a big gap, less than a year. That means he lost quite a bit in 2017. I feel like he was US champion around that time, but I can't be sure. I'm going to have to just throw out a name, I think. Baron Corbin.
Nope.
Damn. All right.
It's a solid guess, though.
Yeah, I was thinking because he won the US Championship around that time as well, Corbin did.
For one of them, you're along the right lines.
What, a lone wolf, so to speak?
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Was Jinder on the list?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Jinder was number 6.
Wow, okay. So he did defeat AJ while he was champion, I'm assuming.
Didn't Jinder win it off AJ?
No, he won it off... no, he didn't win it off Shinsuke. Yeah, he might have done, actually. You're
I'm
right.
pretty sure he did.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure this
man.
was it on SmackDown.
Yeah, because Shinsuke faced him a bunch of times and then Randy faced him a couple of times. Yeah, I'd completely forgotten it was AJ he won it from.
So you got 1 to 6, and then you got number 10.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, I'm out of lives. You got to lay it on me.
You want to keep going?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I have lost the game.
Okay, so after Jinder, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, that makes sense. US title stuff more than likely.
Finn Balor,
Oh, yeah.
TLC
yeah,
2017.
The very impromptu match, yeah, where they pulled him from, I think he was in Argentina doing house shows at the time.
Weird.
And they were like, yeah, everyone's injured. Could you just, injured or sick, could you just fly back up to the US and face Finn Balor for us?
And then number 9, Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I did think of Sammy. I did think of The Miz as well as a possibility.
Fucking Miz.
I did better than I thought I would.
Yeah, yeah.
I did better than I thought I would.
Yeah, you know him better than I thought you did.
Yeah, I was marking the fuck out when he debuted at the Rumble.
It was so good.
But as soon as I heard the rumor that AJ was coming to WWE, there was no way I was missing the Rumble at that point.
Yeah.
And that is the point where I got back into wrestling. So AJ Styles got me back into watching the WWE products.
Awesome.
That's how much I love him. Right. Let's look at some news. So with Raw, we had a certain return, despite the fact this particular character has only been off TV for like 3 weeks. It feels like 3 weeks anyway. Roman Reigns decided to interfere in the cage match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. If I'm not mistaken, because it's been a while since I've watched the actual segment, Reigns gave Rollins a stomp.
He did, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And then...
the tribal stomp.
yeah, and then beat the hell out of Punk on the inside of the cage as well.
It was when Punk was... Heyman was comforting Punk.
That was it.
And then Roman obviously turned around and got jealous.
Yeah, this is...
Very interesting.
I'm very excited to see this triple threat match that they're obviously teeing up. There's got to be something more to it.
It's that favour. It's that favour that Heyman owes Punk.
Whether it's like the winner gets the services of Heyman, that could be a possibility for it. That really adds something to it. And anybody could win if you did tee that up, though.
What, Seth?
Yeah. Turn him heel. Have him, have Heyman hostage, almost.
Well, they've just done that with Solo. They
Yeah.
can't do that again.
Solo wasn't really hostage. I think Heyman was like, well, I can't leave the bloodline. I'll get murdered.
Yeah.
But with Rollins, it'd be like, I'm contractually obligated to be your advocate, your wise man.
There's something going on.
I'm
isn't
very
there?
curious to see
Yeah.
where it goes. But I'm kind of hoping that is where they go, because it would be very interesting to see that. And then we had a section with the Women's World Championship. Rhea, Io, and Bianca in the ring together. And Io kind of got pushed to the side a bit. And that was a very deliberate choice, because it just made Io snap and be like, I'm here, I'm the champion. Why the fuck aren't you taking me seriously?
Yeah.
And then she slaps the shit out of both Bianca and Rhea.
Oh, it was great.
Yep, that's
It was so good.
Another triple threat that they're teeing up, which I would absolutely love to see. That is a WrestleMania match right there. I was kind of hoping for Bianca versus Rhea as a one-on-one, because as I've said before, when they had their Royal Rumble match where they were the final two, it was like, this is a future WrestleMania main event. You could just see it.
I'm surprised they haven't gone down the Bianca Jade route.
Yeah, I think I said this on the last episode. Like, I'm very surprised that Jade and Naomi is the way they're going.
Yeah.
It feels like lackluster in comparison to a Jade versus Bianca.
It does feel really odd, doesn't it?
I mean, Naomi's an excellent performer, but putting Jade over Naomi is not going to have the same impact as putting Jade over Bianca, which I think should have been the way they went with it.
Unless it's a really slow build, and then Jade and Bianca is next year.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or they just do that throughout the year.
Yeah, and because a lot of the slow burn tease got taken out with Jade's injury, didn't it?
Yeah, of
so
course.
Maybe you can run that back and slowly start the dissension again, because now there's a built-in storyline.
Well, I guess, but you could also build a storyline at Mania. You could also set it up where, like, that triple threat happens on night 1, Jade and Naomi happens on night 2, and Bianca turns as well, costing Jade the win.
Yeah, like almost the loss in the triple threat makes her snap kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then you can have Jade versus Bianca continuing post WrestleMania. I think that would work quite well, actually. So time will tell. In terms of SmackDown, we had a couple of interesting promos and setups.
I must admit, I've not seen anything from SmackDown.
I've seen a couple of highlights. I haven't watched the full show, though, despite the fact it was in Europe, so we could have watched it live on Netflix.
Oh, it was in Barcelona?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I think Raw or SmackDown's in Bologna, Italy next week. So, same again. It could be watched live.
Trying to think of... There's no Italian people on the roster anymore, is there?
He's not actually Italian, is he?
Well, he's been... Yeah, I think he is.
Is he not? Has he been released?
Oh, yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Julia is...
She's half Italian.
Was she born in Italy or... Okay.
So, as I understand it, she's half Japanese, half Italian, but born in England. I think that's right.
No wonder she looks confused all the time. Honestly, when anyone speaks to her, she's just like...
What nationality am I again? I don't know what I am. Ridiculous. So Cody Rhodes was invited onto Miz TV.
Because that's still a thing, apparently.
No, because it got cancelled immediately. It was supposed to be Cody Rhodes, and he grabbed the mic and was like, absolutely not, we're not doing Miz TV. John Cena, I need to see you next week. Because we haven't seen him since he turned.
He's living up to the name now, finally.
Have you seen the sightings of him in public?
Oh, with hair?
Yeah. Got, I don't know if he's actually transplanted or he's got a bit of that magic dust thing that you sprinkle on your bald spots. But
might be for a role.
Could be. Did you see how he was dressed as well?
No.
All in black, long sleeve, chain, just a standard thin douchebag chain. So he has lived up to what he said in that CVV interview last year of if I'm going to turn heel, I'm going to be the exact opposite of what people expect me to be. I think the Raw coming up, which will have happened by the time this episode comes out, so we'll see if I'm right. I think that's where you'll get the new music. You'll get to see
tonight,
the new,
isn't it?
Yeah, you'll get to see the new attire, everything. We'll see the new Cena.
I would love it. Shaved head, suit.
He won't shave his head. No way.
No.
Not with those acting roles up for grabs.
True. Because no one with a bald head's ever made it in Hollywood.
No, Dave, Dwayne, Jason, Vin. Nobody.
And probably others.
Vinny.
Yeah. First thought it was Vinny Jones.
Yeah. Former football player, Vinny Jones.
Yeah. He's made it in Hollywood.
Exactly.
Sort of.
Yeah. But yeah, Cody Rhodes essentially just called out Cena, short and sweet. It's I don't want to talk to anybody unless your name is John Cena. See me Monday.
Oh, and he had the black eye, didn't he?
The fucking Travis Scott gave him the daft bat.
I mean, I've seen the slap a few times now. It does look stiff. And I don't doubt that there is an injury there, but
you got to turn it up
they've hammed it up a little bit.
But the people who aren't in the know, they're going to think that Cena did that, or Rock did that.
He said it was Cena, didn't he?
There you go. So I think that leads into it a little better. Paul Heyman also had his turn on the mic, declaring that specific day when SmackDown aired, because it was also the day that WWE 2K25 was released. He declared it was Roman Reigns Day. And CM Punk and Seth Rollins are just upset because they can't be the cover star for WWE 2K25, and they can't have a CM Punk Day or a Seth freaking Rollins Day.
Punk's already been on the cover, hasn't he?
And yeah, I mean this one.
Yeah, and
Rollins has as well. Yeah,
has he?
Actually, they were on back-to-back ones, I believe. I think. Showing my knowledge here, Punk was on WWE 13.
Yeah, because he was doing.
Yeah, and I think Rollins might have been on 2K14.
Wow, I
or
missed
2K17, one of them. But he has been a cover star on one of them for sure.
I can't remember the last 2K game I played. The last one I played, I made Luke Harper the WWE champion.
Wow.
That's how long ago
That's been a while then.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, essentially he said something a little strange while he was in Barcelona. He was like saying, Roman Reigns isn't here. He's going to be in Bologna next week. It's fine. You can get a plane over to Italy. Mussolini's not going to stop you now. That's what he said.
Okay.
A bit wild to bring that out, and I don't know if the Spanish fans even got it, but...
Stop being
Jesus
so
Christ.
clever, Paul.
Jesus Christ, man. And then it also looks like LA Knight will have his opponent for WrestleMania set up in Solo Sikoa. So we know what Solo's doing. This may lead up to your I Hate You Solo moment.
Yeah.
Where LA Knight retains and Jacob turns on Solo. But they could drag this out for another few months before the turn happens, I think. But it looks to me like it's going to be Knight versus Solo.
Oh, just that. I can hear it perfectly. I Hate You Solo. And the crowd are going to go mad. Mm-hmm. Jacob's hit that point now where they need to turn him face. Because the crowd...
They're too excited to see him.
They want to see it. And I think there's a point where if you just keep going, you're going to miss that window.
Yeah,
because you can have a natural, like, organic face turn that happens over time. Or you can have that big moment where it's like, right, face now. And I think that's really going to be the making of Jacob.
It needs to be Mania, or it needs to be the Raw or SmackDown after Mania. Mm-hmm. And then the feud happens from there. And then finally, the only other thing I really want to discuss is the Street Profits have won the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. 1,200 odd days since they've held Tag Team Gold. And I don't even remember if it was on the main roster. I cannot recall if they were main roster tag team champions. I don't even know if they were NXT ones. I don't know where the gold came from. It's been that long.
They must have held it on main. Must have done.
I couldn't tell you. It's been that long. But I'm glad that they finally got a shot at holding some gold, because they are gold when you see them, particularly Montez.
They must have done, surely.
I have a feeling if it is the case, I think it might be when they were feuding with the War Raiders during the cinematic era.
Yeah,
pandemic.
Sounds about right, doesn't it?
They had that awful cinematic match where I think someone got pinned by having a garage door put on them or something stupid like that. There was something really stupid. I'm still hoping for that Fatal 4-Way though. Street Profits, DIY, Pretty Deadly and Motor City Machine Guns as a Fatal 4-Way tag team match at Mania.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Throw some ladders in there as well for good measure.
I mean, you could probably just take Pretty Deadly out.
No.
No, boy!
They're not as over... Nice. They're not as over as the other three teams, but they deserve to be there. It doesn't help because Elton was injured for so long, so they had nothing to do. They might need to build them up again.
Someone's got to take the pin.
In a ladder match?
I said what I said.
Other than that, should we take a brief moment to chat about NXT? Stephanie, 2 bouts happened.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be Stephanie. I honestly thought it was going to be Julia.
No, there was some stuff coming out saying Julia was injured.
Oh, yeah. But we didn't know that before the fact.
But what it 2 belts on one person, yeah, it makes for a big moment. But it never works, really. Because what, they did it with Keith Lee?
Yeah, that was the example I was trying to think of. If there was another.
Because he's the only other person in NXT that's held 2 belts. I think so. It's Keith and Stephanie. I just like. It just seemed, why have 2 belts if you're going to put them on one person? I know Stephanie is like leagues ahead of everybody on that roster.
They have done that a bunch of times. And normally if they put 2 belts on you, they got a hell of a lot of faith in you. Because I can only think of 2 other examples of people who have been world champion and held a mid-card belt at the same time. Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins.
Ultimate Warrior.
And the Ultimate Warrior, I guess. But it shows the faith they have in Stephanie.
Well, they wanted, if rumours are to be believed, they wanted her on main originally when she debuted. And
I bloody would.
She turned it down, saying she needed to learn English slightly better, because obviously it's not her first language.
Of course.
And maybe some help with the WWE system and WWE style.
Yeah.
And maybe that shows sort of a level of maturity, and they're rewarding her now and saying, you know what, I think you are going to be worth the investment in the long run.
Particularly since she's humble enough to say, like, I'm not good enough to do this yet.
Yeah.
I'll get there, but I need the time.
She has that aura. Like when she comes out, you can't help but just go,
yeah,
good.
I know
Very
what you're
good.
about immediately.
Yeah, win.
Yeah, I like her.
Best.
This is exactly what happened with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
you looked at Rhea Ripley. You're like, I know exactly what you're about. I like you already.
Yeah,
I want you to win everything. So, 2 years' time, they face each other probably.
Be a hell of a match.
I don't know how old Stephanie is, but Rhea's south of 30, I think. Still, I don't think she's hit 30 yet.
Oh. Yeah, I got no idea how old Stephanie is. Mid to early 30s?
Maybe. We can look it up in a second. But first, Jordan's taking one of those titles.
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know.
Hard to say, isn't it? And also, will she pull double duty at Stand and Deliver, which is the WrestleMania pay-per-view that NXT will hold?
Pulling double duty is a good way to get the belt, one belt.
Yeah, of course.
Someone, because you could have let's say for argument's sake that they have an absolute banger of a women's title match on first. Stephanie barely scrapes through, maybe against Jordan.
Yep.
Or someone. And then later on, she has to defend the North American.
I guess like a Solbrook, a Fallon Henley, someone like that.
Yeah. And then because she's so injured, and then it doesn't look too bad then. Especially if it is someone like Fallon Henley, you can do the interference and
of course
and overbook it slightly.
I feel like that's what they did with Seth when he lost the US title or the WWE title. I don't know which one. I'm assuming he lost the US title first.
Yeah, surely.
But Shawn is a different matter, so we won't dwell on that. Let's clarify how old she is.
Didn't Edge? Or did he have the main belt and a tag belt?
I feel like Edge has never been US champion.
No, the main title I meant, sorry, and a tag belt.
I
can't remember.
He might have had a tag one. Stephanie McCurry is 31. So there you go.
Is that her real name? Must be, surely.
Anna Stephanie Vaquer Gonzalez. She's using both of her middle names.
Interesting choice.
Sure is. That was the most interesting match on the card, unfortunately.
Where does Julia fit in then when she comes back? Takes the title back, or
she might just get called up. She might get asked.
Yeah.
Depends what her English is like.
Asuka vacated, didn't she? Like,
yes.
And just went, okay, I'm graduating from NXT now.
Mm-hmm. Just because I'm injured. I remember people being pissed about that. Like, she didn't even put anyone over on the way out. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want to do?
I'm vacating and I'm going to lose to Charlotte. Deal with it.
Yeah, I'm going to be undefeated for like a year and then just lose at WrestleMania. Boy, did I make the right choice.
Julia's English is okay, isn't it? I mean,
I can't recall a promo she's done. I can't lie.
I'm trying to think of... Because Io's English is good, but she tends to cover it by just shouting in Japanese quite a lot.
Of course.
Same with Asuka, same with Kairi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's their wheelhouse. And it's entertaining, so it works.
I can't see... Julia's character doesn't really lend itself to just shouting in just random nonsense, does it? She's a bit more silently chaotic.
Yeah, of course. We had Oba defeating Moose, as we thought would happen. I don't know if this was earlier in the night, but in the report I'm reading here, it said the Undertaker spoke to Oba Femi, and he told Oba to defend his yard. So that's an interaction for the ages.
Have I told you about the realisation that I've slowly come to about The Undertaker?
No, but go on.
I don't think I like The Undertaker.
As a person, or
just as a character, as like a wrestling character.
right?
Since he's retired, every time he's cropped up, I've gone, oh, for fuck's sake.
Stay home.
Yeah, like he did it with Ripley.
Yeah.
And every time he just seems to pop up, I just go, oh.
And now he's on LFG now, so you're going to see more of him anyway.
Just go away. I don't know, I find him a bit, it's that old school mentality where he's like, you need to be tough. And it's like, oh, just move on. Like, wrestling has evolved.
It's not what it was.
Yeah, just stop.
Yeah, but it's always nice to just see him give the rub. He's showing who he has faith in for the future, and a lot of people put stock in his opinion. So
yeah,
that's the one part of it that justifies it, I think. Anyway, Jack's favourite wrestler, Roxanne Perez, lost to Jordynne Grace.
Aren't they about the same height? And it looks really weird.
Yeah, because they're definitely not the same width. Jordan towers over her in a completely different way.
I'm slowly coming to a realisation about Roxanne as well, that I think she's just a very good heel, and I've just fallen for it. I know she's a very good wrestler. I do understand that.
But she
it's something about her face that annoys me, and I can't put my finger on it.
She sort of got her break by being that Johnny Gargano big heart baby face.
You're not helping the situation.
I know you don't like that, but that's why people were endeared to her, and that's
I
why
like
she
Daniel
stuck around.
Bryan though.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you're just picky. I
know.
Imagine that, a wrestling fan being picky.
Ridiculous.
I know. Javon Evans defeated Ethan Page in a street fight. I mean, Javon Evans with weapons seems like a good time.
Yeah.
So, couldn't really go wrong there. That was about it.
No Ricky Saints.
No. We did have the TNA Tag Team Championships defended. We had the Hardy Boys facing Fraxium, and the Hardy Boys retained. I can't help but think that it's going to go the other way, and I think Hardys are going to have both belts.
No, they'll stick them on main.
The Hardys?
Yeah, there'll be a nostalgia thing.
Not as a team, I don't think.
Hardys versus Guns. Think of how delicious and tantalising this would be. TNA tag titles the Hardy Boys versus WWE signed Motor City Machine Guns. That is such a head fuck.
Could you imagine if they repeated what they did at WrestleMania 33?
And just come out?
Well, you've got that fatal four-way with the SmackDown ones, and someone comes over, wait a minute, there's a fifth team. I wonder who it could be. And they do the exact same thing 9 years later.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Wrestling is so much bloody fun.
No, they'll stick them on main for a nostalgia
maybe
run,
once or twice, but they'll sort of be, I think they're going to be regulars on the NXT roster. Because they're going to be quite valuable to the young guys on that brand. So they could learn a lot from people like that. Javon Evans could learn a hell of a lot from the Hardy Boys.
I was just thinking he could have a Jeff versus Javon.
Yep.
One-on-one match at some point.
Just a mental off.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it for NXT. Is there anything else you want to talk about in the world of wrestling in the last week or two?
There was 2 vignettes that I saw.
Oh, yes, of course.
They were good.
Let's discuss those 2 vignettes.
One was
Very obvious.
very obvious. It was it a red light?
Yeah,
And
like
it was,
some orange lightning coming
and it
down.
was someone walking the ropes and doing lucha things, and it's very obviously Chad Gable.
Is it?
No, it's Phoenix. Of course it's Phoenix. So, while we're talking about Gable,
Yeah.
that
And
was
luchas.
fucking brilliant. The fact he went, Gracias! was perfect. Perfect.
What's shush in Spanish? I imagine it's just shush, which is a shame.
Yeah. Whatever he's doing is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another one.
There was another one, which is a little more ominous, but I think we know who it's going to be.
The Return of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, we just had some smoke on a black background just with the number 4 flashing, and it was gone. That was it.
I mean, it's Alistair Black.
It's got to be
It's
Alistair
Alistair
Black.
Do you think it's going to be a date, or do you think it's going to be next week will be a 3, and then a 2, and then a 1, and then a debut?
It can be a few things, I think. As big fans of Alistair Black, you and I, we know he loves to be quite cryptic with some things. That could be a reference to something in that world, in the like occult kind of space that we might not be familiar with as well.
One thing that I saw was there could be a word either side of it, eye for an eye.
Maybe,
Seth, straight for Seth.
Oh yeah, of course, that would make good sense. Another theory I saw is that it could be that it's been 4 years since Alistair Black was in the WWE.
That's mental.
I'm pretty sure he debuted in AEW in 2021. So, yeah.
That's mental, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But he probably won't debut till after Mania, which is...
It'll be the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, which would
It's
be 4
not,
weeks.
Not quite 4 weeks. I think we're 5 weeks away from that promo. From that little vignette, it'd be 5 weeks.
Maybe.
It
It could be a 0, could be 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, or a now.
They'll add something to it.
Yeah.
So, by the time this episode comes out, was the vignette on Raw or SmackDown? I genuinely can't remember.
They were both on SmackDown, weren't they?
Yeah, must have been. Well, Penta's on Raw. They might have actually been on Raw.
I can't remember.
Because if they bring Phoenix in, they're not just going to have him on a different brand as a singles guy. They're going to bring them together.
They might do. There would be a slow burn from when they're to... They just... Like a rumble, maybe.
Possibly. Who's
Yeah.
Raw Tag Team Champions again? We do this every time. There's one brand we always forget who's the tag champs. Is it Judgment Day?
Viking Raiders?
Yes, it's the Viking Raiders. Or War Raiders.
War Raiders, sorry.
War Raiders versus the Lucha Bros.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, Judgment Day, because it was Finn and JD, wasn't it? And
Oh, yeah, and then they lost to the War Raiders
Yeah,
because JD popped a lung.
He's going to be over. Big.
Can't wait to see him back.
Big when he comes back.
The response he gets. He might actually get his own music.
He got a lot of props for doing that.
Good. This is, well, when Triple H is your boss, and you know what Triple H did back in like 1999, yeah, you're gonna have to.
He's done it a few times, Triple H. The quad tear, and then the...
Throat.
It was the first Elimination Chamber, wasn't it? Where RVD kneed him in the throat.
Yeah. JD McDonough, he said on CBV, you're looking a month or two before we see him again. Fuck off.
Crazy. He's a crazy man.
He is a crazy man.
Crazy Irish man.
I also found out that him and Finn Balor have known each other since they were kids.
Yeah.
He said his granny's back garden backed onto Finn's granny's back garden.
The most Irish thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, he said he met Finn when he was 12.
There you go.
I mean, they look the same, don't they? Finn could feasibly be his dad, I think.
I think so, yeah.
I like what he was saying as well, where they're like, how does Finn get his abs? JD's like, I don't know, but I have to fucking stand next to him every week.
I'm not small, but I have to stand next to that every week.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Right, is there anything else before we wrap up? Because I got nothing else for this week.
No.
Perfect. Right, thank you very much for listening or watching the Headlock Talkover podcast. Give us a like, a comment, a subscribe, rate us if you are watching or listening on Spotify. Until next time.
Bye.